So we are back for another episode of our Runescape free ahead account. In the previous episode, we went on a little bit of a quest rampage. We basically greenlogged the Lumbridge quest for the early game, and we bought a brand new weapon as well. Now this episode, we're going to go even deeper in terms of progress. We're going to go and unlock two very big things to utilize. Now, the first thing we're going to go and do is unlock the player and house. We're going to go and build a workshop. We're not really going to do much more to it at the minute, but it's something we're definitely going to branch out more as the episode sort of gather pace. And then the other thing we're going to look to do is player-owned farms. Now, welcome to this series where we are starting a brand new account fresh for the 2026 Runescape roadmap. If you haven't watched any of the episodes before, there is a link to the playlist in the description and in the corner of the video as well. If you are enjoying the videos, please make sure to leave me a like and subscribe to the channel as well. We are still doing this subathon until the end of February, and every extra subscriber and like on the video contributes to extra and double uploads for the month starting from February. Now, without further ado, player-owned farms and the player-owned house are going to be some very big upgrades. Player-owned farm is going to be a significant way for us to train farming, and the player-owned house is going to hopefully make us a little bit of cash from it as well. Now, something else we did in the previous episode is we put an offer in to buy some limestone bricks. These were so we can basically go and make some stone wall segments. They haven't all bought, but we've bought a decent chunk of them. And this is just something I'm going to passively do over the next couple of episodes. I'm not in a rush to go and get this done because really, I don't actually need the cash too bad. So that is something we'll do over time, and I'll just keep you guys updated on this as well. I couldn't buy a hammer, so I bought some from the general store, just trying to see if we can sell them for a higher price. And the bear fur is just going to keep ticking over as time goes on, because basically that is just a free 1.5 mil when it finally decides to sell. So what I've got is some teleport to houses, just because I don't have the magic level to teleport to the house. That requires level 40 magic, which again, we'll get at some point, but we're just not quite there. But teleports, yes, are a little bit more pricey, but it just means I can use them now. So if you don't know how RS3 construction works, again, very similar to the old game, but what you need to do is teleport to your house. You will then get this interface, which is going to be the mini game symbol, but it's just to build your house. You need to click to go into build mode to then upgrade all the different things. Now, this sort of symbol of like a sort of ghostly or whitewash sort of item basically means it's a building spot. So if you want to build on certain spots, all you literally need to do is click onto build. So the one thing we're looking to do is build the clock making space. So with the clock maker's bench, you have to upgrade from the first table. So that's why we've bought the 6 oak planks and also the 3 molten glass as well. So we're just going to work our way up through it. You only need a level 42 to do this, and you quite comfortably get that from just doing the 4 3 upgrades as well. And there you go, we have a maxed clockwork maker's bench. Now the reason we've done this is for this item here, to go and do some clockwork. Now, as you can see, on the Grand Exchange, it sells for 11,800 GP, and it only costs 1 steel bar to make. So it's a very high profit sort of item to go and do. And what I'm just going to go and do now is going to check the margins, see if it's worthwhile doing. So this is going to be another moneymaker we could have access to. It's probably not one I'm going to make like 1,000 in one go. It's probably something where I'm going to do like 200, wait for him to sell, make 200 more, wait for him to sell, because it can be niche sometimes as well for clockwork, because people will only require it for quests, they'll require it for archaeology. It's not something which they'll buy in like massive amounts. So because of that, I don't really want to put the time into it just for them not to sell. Now, one important thing to do before doing anything is to go and check the price, because 11.8k is very expensive for a clockwork. And it's selling for even more than that. 14,000 coins for a clockwork is crazy. And we talked about this yesterday. What you need to actually make clockwork is literally the crafting table, which we've just made with 42 crafting. And then also 8 crafting, which really isn't big in terms of like how to get in, especially because like the new foundations quest will pretty much sort out the construction, which is probably the biggest part of the requirements anyway. Now, what I'm going to do is buy a steel bar. I'm going to go plus 5% because we've seen the profit, which is available in the clockwork. We can kind of like go and buy some slightly more expensive steel bars because of that, because we've got so much of a margin. So they're not buying at the minute, so we're just going to keep sort of seeing what price it's going to take to do it. If they don't buy, I can just put an offer in, wait for them to buy over time, because I don't really want to go too high on a steel bar, because again, free to play can do it. It should be a decent supply on the Grand Exchange. We might just need to wait a little bit until they've sold. So the instant buy price is currently 3,000 coins, which is quite far over mid actually, but it could be a decent way to make some money. And 2.8k is around what it needs to be. So we do have an offer which seems to be decently competitive. I'll just instant buy for 3,000 coins, because we're going to sell them for that much over mid price anyway. It's just going to still be a decent profit margin anyway. So what I'm going to go and do now is just go and make 200 of the clockworks. I'll show you the first time we go and do it actually, just to show you guys it really isn't that hard in terms of method, and it really is quite chill to go and do. So simply all you need to do is to set up a preset. We talked about doing presets yesterday. Just click overwrite and it sort of matches your info. Sometimes it bugs out a little bit and it won't let you do it straight away. So if you click on another one and then click back to the one you want to sort of overwrite, it'll let you do it then. So it's just a little annoying thing there. Now we're going to go to the house and then we can go to the clockwork maker's bench and then we can get sorted. And then what I'll be doing while we're crafting these clockworks is putting a little bit of a plan together, player owned farms, because we'll need to do the tutorial and also as well, I want to do the beehives. So that's the big thing about wanting to do player owned farms. Beehives are an incredible way to go and train your farming, especially at a lower level. And that's what we're going to be doing as well. As you can see, just set ourselves at the clockmaker's bench, go and click it once, and then we just pretty much wait for the character to go and make all the clockworks out. You will get some crafting XP, which is nice. Again, it won't be anything which sets the world on fire, but it's still going to contribute a couple of levels while we go and do this as well. Now, what I'm going to do is finish all the clockworks, put them on the Gun Exchange, and then we'll come back with what is up next for the account. Okay, so after a little bit of an editing break, we are now back, and now time to go and do some more progress. So some good things have happened on the Gun Exchange. We have now bought all of our limestone bricks. Some other clockworks have started to sell as well, but this doesn't look like a quick selling one. Very similar to the bear fair, I'll go and make more or get more when they've all sold. But we've sold so far 26, which isn't actually that bad, and for the kind of profit we're going to get, it's roughly going to be 11k per clockwork, which I can definitely work with that as well. The 4,000 limestone bricks is something I'm not in a rush to do. We'll go and do it when we go and get our free limestone pretty much from Big Bill every day. But what we're going to go and do now is go and unlock player-owned farms. Now, player-owned farms is a massive update for farming, and I think I could have gone a little while ago. I think like to do Manor Farm or player-owned farm, it's going to require level 17 farming, which again we managed to get from the Violet quest, and also 20 construction, which we got from Fort Frimfree. So where player-owned farm is basically where the Ardonge lodestone is. So we're going to go and teleport there really quick, and then we're going to speak to Granny Pottington. He's going to basically do a little bit of a tutorial and talk us through basically what player-owned farm is. Now, what player-owned farm is growing your own animals and selling them for the farm currency of beans. Now, beans, you can buy a lot of rewards from the shop, but again, we'll talk it out while we're doing the tutorial with Granny. I'll try and edit out bits of it because, again, this could be a very long tutorial and I don't really want to bore you guys with this as well. But player-owned farms is something I'll probably do like a sort of side series to, because we made a video about it last year. It went down incredibly well. And because I've got a little bit of cash spare, maybe we use it on farming just to like sort of fund a couple of quick levels in terms of it as well. Because especially with the player-owned farm side, with farming animals, you can get incredibly quick XP. So there we go, the tutorial all completed. Again, nothing too intense, definitely one which explains all the process of player-owned farms very, very well. But this means which we now have access to do this. And because we're a main account, we can actually buy the animals to throw into the pen. So some really good things as well is with Granny's shop, if we just go to the market, some really handy items for us to go and buy. The farm upgrades are nice and probably what I'll focus on first. But also, if we're after things like cash, the Supreme Grow Potions are very handy. In terms of doing things for like Slayer, the Herbicide, Seedicide, as well as the upgrades can be purchased from Granny, and these are very, very handy to have. Very nice items for Slayer especially, but it's something we can do quite passively rather than having to do the other methods of going to get them. Now, what we really came here for was for these beehives at the back. So we've talked about them a few times. We can throw some flowers into these beehives and basically wait 24 hours. And then we can go and get some serious farming XP. Now, this is the whole reason why I wanted to start player-owned farms. I'm not too focused on actually doing the farms itself at the minute. I'm going to go and do the beehives, probably till level 50 farming, only because it means we can skip some of the tedious farming animals, like things like the rabbits, the sheep, the cows to a point, aren't the best XP. It's when you start doing things like spiders, chinchompers, that's when the XP gets quite good. But on the way to sort of like level 50, the ability to go and do the beehives will give us quite a lot of XP. And it'll be really interesting to show you guys just how good it is tomorrow. So what I've come to do is just go and buy 1,000 wood leaves from Winston the Gardener in Falador. And I'm going to go and put those into the beehives. And then basically we're just going to wait 24 hours. And then tomorrow's video, we'll go through and we'll show you guys what you get from that as well. But this is one of those methods which, along with like doing a herb run and stuff, will really ramp up our farming XP. I'll probably get something like 50 farming over the next 3 or 4 days. Just from simply filling up the beehives every single day and then just sort of leaving them to be done. So it's kind of a 24-hour thing. To be able to loot all of them, you need to sort of do it for 24 hours. And yeah, apart from that, Beehives, very straightforward, very, very easy. All you need to do is just go here. Now, for a lower level like myself, you do need to be a little bit careful of the grizzly bears. And then what you want to do is just use these onto the beehives, check them, yep, and then just throw them on. We do need to go and pick up some insect repellent just so we can go and loot those tomorrow. I'll show you guys after I've done this where to go and pick that up. Basically, it's just where the Catheby beehive is, and you can put it in the tool belt and it stays there forever, which is really, really nice. But that's pretty much, for now, play your own farm in a nutshell. Again, we'll come back to play your own farms at a later date. And like I said, I'm going to make like a little mini series a little bit later on, just talking you guys through how to do play your own farms, because I think it's a really good thing to get into. For your farming XP, it just needs a bit of explaining on how to do it as well. But I'm going to fill these up. I'm going to go to Catheby afterwards and go and get the insect repellent, and I'll show you guys what to do for that. And that is pretty much where we are up to now. I think what we're going to go and do next is go and jump into some of those quests. We're going to go start in Draenor and just kind of work our way around it. And we'll come back when it's time to get some quest rewards. So just receive the insect repellent from the beekeeper here. Once you get it, all you need to do is right click, add to tool belt, and then you have access of doing that for beehives. If you wanted to make a little bit of money as well, you can go and take from the beehive here in Catheby, and you're going to be able to get things like honeycomb. Honeycomb is 2,000 coins. It's one of those really early level money makers you can do just to make a little bit of GP if you wanted to. But again, really nice, and we'll hopefully get quite a few farming levels in the future. Now, those are two really big things ticked off today, is the fact we've done the play your own house, which we've started. We've not quite completed yet, but I kind of want a bit of a bigger construction level before we go and do something. Maybe like we go and buy some fort for him for XP when we do this next set of limestone bricks. What I'm probably going to do now is just going to do some more quests. So we talked about doing Draenor. I'm probably going to go and do the Imp Catcher, Rune Mysteries to get the Wizard Tower ticked off, and then we'll do Draenor afterwards. Now, Vampire Slayer, you do get a lamp, which I think is only really worthwhile sort of using on either level 20 skill. So what I'm debating is using it on Mage. It can be a little bit counterproductive because normally I like to put it on attack, because the quicker you level your attack up, the better weapons you can then go and train your melee stats, which just means you're a little bit quicker in terms of training. But I think if I'm going to do things like the waterfall as well, I can kind of do that. And then when I've got the sort of XP from the lamp, I can then go and do something like Witch's House, because I'll be able to go and get a better magic weapon as well. So that might be the plan, and then at least then we've got a bit of damage to sort of go on with, because at the minute with the staff it's not the best. But I also found out as well that the corrupted staff which we bought yesterday, the corrupted Zoriel staff, only lasts for 15 minutes. So I stood in the bank with the Zoriel staff for 14 minutes and then it vanished. So yeah, we lost out on that, and that's a lesson learned, and I don't think we'll be buying that again. So yeah, we'll move on. But the good thing is that eventually we'll go and do the waterfall quest. That should hopefully give us enough attack and strength XP to really move forward. So maybe that's what we go and do today, so we can do things like the fight arena, the Vampire Slayer, and then waterfall. Those are 3 massive quests to get quite a bit of XP. And then we can do some other ones as well which are dotted around. There's quite a few decent ones, like just get some stuff. The Witch's House actually is really good HP XP, and it just means we're a bit more beefier in terms of going around to do some of these quests, because now it's starting to get to a point where these quests need a little bit of combat XP to be able to do it. So I'm going to go and get started, and then we'll get moving, and we'll come back when it's time to finish quests. I'm sorry, what kind of bead is this guy talking about? So we are, of course, going to start the Imp Catcher quest. Again, been reworked, redone. It's not as before where you've just been able to buy the beads, hand them in, and finish the quest. We need to go around and chase this imp. So we'll report back very soon. Now, the Wicked Hood is actually very, very good for these kind of quests, especially this one, because you're able to just teleport all around. I'm going to go to the air altar, but while I'm there, I'm probably going to use the essence in the hood as well, just because we can get a little bit of XP from that as well. Oh, I remember this quest. This is where the imps basically just do nothing but throw up all the beads. Again, really weird way of doing it, but you know, again, not too hard in terms of this, but he has just thrown up all over my brand new wizard robe. Can you believe it? Right, so there is bead number 1. We'll hop around the rest, and then we'll come back when it's all done. Luckily, we've got the teleport for the water, and then also the fire is near the old duel arena, and then the earth one is also near Fort Frimfree as well, so that's not too bad. So I'm just going to go and just runecraft some water runes, and then we'll come back, and then we'll finish the quest off, and then report on to the next one. So there we go, all 4 beads have been retrieved, got thrown up on 4 times. Normally I have to pay for that, but we can just go really quickly to the runecrafting guild, and then go and hand them in, and that's going to be another quest done. The next one is Rune Mysteries, which again is another one which has been reworked. We need to go and find Ariane somewhere in the Wizard Tower to go and get that one started. And then afterwards, we'll go and start knocking out some of the combat quests, starting with the old Vampire Slayer as well. So doing pretty decent, to be fair. We have made some progress. We need to go down one more time. And yeah, we'll come back when Rune Mysteries done. You don't really need to see the end screen for this one. Again, really quick to be fair. The only annoying thing is I didn't get the bowl to do the water imp. But apart from that, it was really quick. And yeah, that is the imp catcher's quest done. And then on to the next one. He still gets a nice cutscene, does Wizard Midgog with his special bead. This was one of those quests like in the old days was an instant complete because you could buy the beads. But again, they've added another little thing to it. Now, the Amulet of Accuracy, is that worth anything? No, it's 3,000 coins. I was going to say, they used to be very niche and used to be worth a little bit just because, like, you can't get them from anywhere but the quest, but they must have added something in the game to make them able. Whether you buy them from him now as well is another option, but there is level 23 Mage. Some other kind of bolt we've got now as well, which is nice. Water Bolt, that is decent. It's very good for certain monsters, actually. I do find that more monsters are weak to water as opposed to any other spell. But yeah, going to go and start Rune Mysteries and then we'll report back very soon when we're done. So here we go. This is Rune Mysteries done. By far the most annoying quest I've done so far. Considering like that used to be such an easy quest on the old game or when it was originally out. They dragged that one out a little bit. So yeah, going to finish this. I think I just need to play this a little bit longer and we'll break the concentration of Serador. Ariane does have a storyline, and I think as well there's an extension to this called Rune Memories. Yeah, Rune Memories is the next one as well, so maybe we'll do that afterwards, but for now I'm going to go and do the Vampire Slayer quest, then I'm going to do Witch's House, and then we can start working on things like Fight Arena, and then maybe even the Waterfall as well, to give us a little bit of a bump up in stats. I have read a couple of comments say we have made a little bit of slow progress, which, don't get me wrong, for the first couple of episodes it's intentional. I don't want to absolutely blast ahead in terms of speed and stuff. But I do agree with you guys that maybe it's time just to pick the pace up a little bit as well. And those combat quests will really help. The thing is that low level training, especially for like combat stats, is a little bit slow. So it's always worth using quests while they're here. And while I'm this kind of low level, this is when the quests are going to be the absolute most as well. However, I need to go back down the old tower to go speak to Ariane again. Why she just couldn't have just appeared here, I'll never know. But you'll see the rest of the quest play out. And we'll get our nice finished little reward as well. Again, nothing too major in terms of this. We're just going to get 250 XP both in magic and also runecrafting, which is nice. And the talisman, which again, will no real purpose to it because the Wicked Hood already has it. But we are now 19 quest points, which is actually pretty nice. Very close to that 25 where we can go and do our first roll on the dice as well. See if we can get lucky with that. Really, with the dices, you should be looking about 1 mil every time because hopefully you're going to get a fortunate component, which should bring you some profit. So the next one we're going to go and do now we've done those two, the Wizard Tower is ticked off apart from Rune Memories, but I'll go and do that at another time because, yeah, I can't be bothered to do that. So we're going to do the Vampire Quest. Now, the Vampire Quest is going to give us 4.8k XP lamp, which will be going into Mage, which hopefully should get us to like level 30. I can then go and buy something like an Air Battle Staff. Then we can go and cream the Witch's House NPCs. And we can move on from there. So in terms of Draenor, we also have Stolen Hearts, which is the desert quest. That's Prince Ali Rescue. And we also have things like Swept Away, which we can throw some lamps on some skills, probably be agility. And we also have Earnest for Chicken and Necromancy as well. But yeah, gonna go and do Vampire Slayer and then we'll move on and do some other stuff straight after. Also as well, while we're doing the quest, the Clockwork sold. So we'll definitely do another stint of Clockwork some point tonight. Even if we just finish the 200 bars, which we did earlier, we can have them on the Grand Exchange. It's just basically free money which sells while we're running around doing quests. So yeah, not too bad at all. So there we go. Count Draenor has been beaten. We have upgraded to a Spider Orb and a Spider Wand as well. Really helps. As you can see, the hit chance on that one was 81%. Very nice. We're going to go to Morgan and that is going to complete a Vampire Slayer. Literally took 2 minutes if that. You just go to Dr. Harlow in Varrock. You get the spike and the hammer and then that is pretty much that sorted. So nice quick one. I think with how well that went and the fact I've just gone and bought some lobsters, we're going to go and tackle Witch's House next because that'll give us a really nice HP boost, which will help when we decide to do Waterfall because you will be running past things like Fire Giants, which can hit you, and not that a death would really affect us, but it can cause us some problems if they decide to hit us, and hit us well. But once we go to Morgan, wherever he is, so once we go and speak to Morgan now, this is going to be the Vampire Slayer done. 3 quest points, 4.8k combat XP lamp. Now, I might regret this, but the fact I'm going to be doing Waterfall a little bit later on, I don't think I will, but we're going to put that onto Magic, which should hopefully give us a nice big jump. Level 28 Magic as well, which hopefully means that once we've finished the Witch's House, we'll be able to go and buy a Air Battle Staff, which should really increase our DPS anyway. So In terms of the witch's house, I'm going to go to Taverley now and go and get ready to do that quest. That will give us a nice big bump in HP XP. It's actually like a couple of K reward. And hopefully as well, depending on how many sort of quest points it's going to give us, we could be able to go and roll our very first quest dice as well. So again, another quest down. That is 3 down for the day. Let's go and jump onto Witch's House and go and get that one done. So this was the monster I was a little bit worried about. So the first form went down pretty easy. It's actually weak to water spells as well. So we'll swap over to that. But as you can see, it does handle out a little bit of damage. We do seem to be doing all right. We do need some food, absolutely, definitely. But we should hopefully be able to go through all the different phases. Again, it will be a nice little bit of XP as well. I think this is the one which will really hurt is the bear. That's definitely hitting us quite hard. But yeah, really random that the Witch's House have these sort of NPCs which do a fair bit of damage. So yeah, so make sure as always to use your combust, and then once you walk as well, once we eat some food of course, but you can see definitely doing some damage. I think there might be another phase after this, you know. I'm sure there's a wolf. Yeah, there's a wolf as well. Wow. We might be in trouble. Yeah, that's what I was worried about. So we've come back to Mighty Death. So if we go to Death's Hourglass, do we need anything? Is there a bank chest? Because I can just bank really quickly. Yes, there is. Right, so let's go and take this seriously. So we're going to definitely take all of our food. Because again, I think if we just had a little bit more food, we would have been able to get through that final phase without a problem. I'm just going to go to the Grand Exchange just to top up on some more lobsters because I think we're going to need some more anyway for some quests. Again, this is what happens when you quest on sort of a low level. We could have gone and done some more training, but I'd much rather try and rush it and get the rewards to make training quicker in the long run than do that. But what I'll do is go and gear up, get all of our supplies back, and get to the same point we were in the quest, and once the quest finish, we'll come back then. So the good news is you do return to the form you left, but as you can see, it is already absolutely rinsing me. Now again, use your combust and then walk under. That means it's going to move the wolf so you'll get extra damage. Once I actually do it, if I don't die, there we go, combust. So we're going to move, and then as you can see, it's going to double the damage, which is going to happen there as well. So yeah, this is just a little bit of a spam food fest. I think after this, I'm going to go and buy 43 prayer. Having the ability just to protect, even if it just like partially delays the damage, is going to be pretty massive. But we've actually managed to make it. I'm not sure if I had to do all 4 again, if I would have actually got through that. But yeah, that was brutal. And that's why I was waiting to do that quest, just because I've done it before on accounts and I've died before. And I just knew that it could be a little bit painful to have done that as well. But this is going to be Witch's House done. And what I'll probably go and do is, with the extra HP XP, I think I'll be okay to go and do Fight Arena. I don't think that's going to cause me much grief, but I'm going to go and buy some bones anyway and use them on the Chaos Altar. We'll talk through how to get there and stuff like that. But it'll be a really good way to basically just go and get prayer done and have a little bit of protection, because again, the stats aren't massive. Maybe like tonight as well, maybe I just go and get a couple of defense levels and get some better armor, because that will also give me a HP boost as well. However, that is 6.3k Constitution XP. That is 4 quest points, so we now have something unlocked at the quest point shop. As you can see here, visit May at the quest point shop and we'll get some extra rewards which are unlocked. So we'll go and visit May now, and we'll go and buy some dragon bones as well, and we'll go and get that done. I'll do it before Fight Arena actually, because like with Fight Arena, there's some pretty like hefty NPCs you need to work around. So if we can have a little bit more protection during that as well, that would be nice. But some HP levels will really help us out as well. So I'm going to wrap the video up there. We have made so much progress in terms of quest, a bit of money making, and also accessing the brand new moneymaker in terms of clockwork as well. I thought I'd save the start of the questing for the next episode as well, where we're going to jump into things like Fight Arena and some other big things as well as maybe going to tackle a little bit of GP making. With the Stonewall segments and the clockworks, I want to work out which one's going to be the best, and maybe in our downtime we can start looking at that in terms of money making. But what I want to do is say a massive thank you all to the commenters, likers, and the brand new subscribers. Please welcome to the channel. If you have enjoyed, please make sure to keep doing that down below. It really helps me get seen by more and more people, and this series really is exploding for my channel. So thank you guys so much, and as a reward for that, I want to make sure to keep posting these videos out. I was going to do a money making video today, but I thought, you know what, while this series is doing so well, while you guys are loving the videos, I'll just keep going with it as well. However, I'm going to wrap the video up there. Any suggestions for future content, any tips, anything which you think can help me out, drop in the comment section below, and what I'll do is make sure to pop them in the video whenever I mention them, just to basically say thank you for you guys for dropping the comment section below. Let me know anything in terms of improvements for the series as well, and I'll try and do that. I'm going to try and like do a few things to make sure I can improve. So I'm going to try and talk a little bit slower, make a bit more of an explanation on certain things as well. but let me know what you guys think. But thank you guys so much for watching. Really hope you enjoyed. I'll see you guys very soon in the next video.